Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, welcome back. We're ready for the next section here. We're going to focus on trying to get a list of data here in this window. You recall in the last section, we spent a lot of time working inside of our, where's our store? Inside of our store, and what we have now is that after we save the images, we are, after we set add a new post, we're always getting all of the user posts. The problem is the user posts are still sitting inside of my state, and I need them out here. So one approach that we can use is to just inside my home view here, the same way that we have these, where are they here? The same way we have these computed values, get the auth check and get computed back, we can also create another one to get all of our posts back. So let's do this. We'll just cut and paste here. We're going to call this image. Let me select all this. Image posts. And we're going to say stored in state.posts, because we know there's posts hanging off of there. And that should get, why is that complaining? State, oh, because the type. So let's, can I take the, let's just do state as any. No, let's go and try to be nice with our state. Let's go back into our store. Where's our store? Views, store. And we will set our state here as post. Actually, I don't think I put that function there. I think I just got to do this. Yes, expected space before. So let's put that back. All right. And let's come into my home. My image post, it's complaining that it's not being used. So let's pass image post back up. So now we have access to image posts here in our page. So what we can do is we could say that if I have my user right above the footer, right here inside of do login, let's just add the list of users. List of image posts. Image post. And let's see what we get. Hopefully we get something. No, I'm putting this in the wrong place. We want to do this here where we already know we have users, so let's just drop it in right here. See, so here's my images. All right, so let's kind of clean this up a little bit and use our good friend v4. But let's start to use some Ionic. Let's start to use some more Ionic things, Ionic components here. So let's go with our Ion. Why am I cap locks on? Apologies. Ion list. And do we have an Ion item? And do we have a Ion image? Because that's what we got inside of there. We're storing the item and the image. So let's copy those, add them up here, save. And now it's complaining they're not being used, so let's actually do something with them. And first thing first is we know we're going to have an Ion list. So let's say our Ion list. Then let's wrap our list, and then we know we're going to have an Ion item. Put our item in place. And then in here, let's wrap this Ion item with the div. So let's do this, div, wrap that, wrap this. So now we have our div, and here's where we're going to do our v4. So v4 p will be simple, p in image post, yes. Then we know we need our key to bind it. We know our image post will have an ID. So our key equals p.id. And image has been registered when I use, and we need to add our image. So let's put our images, Ion image. Put that in there. And this, all right, we're getting closer. So we see we have two items in there. So now let's add our source. And then we're going to pull that from p dot, I believe it's download URL. Let's see what we get. P.download URL. I thought that's what it is. Let's go with that, right? So let's go in here, put that set. And, all right, so we got our two images. So we're slowly getting there. Let's try to control these guys that are not too big. So we're going to force the style. We're going to set our height. Hopefully we'll get our guys a little bit smaller, or it's just that I just zoomed in so big so that we can all see. Well, looks like it's just because I zoomed in so big so we can all see. Now let's add a little bit of copy around the post. Let's first start with my P trick again and see what we get. Why did it kind of blast my image out? Okay, so we'll take the body, we'll take the subject, we'll take the subject, the body, and the creation time. Let's start with that. Set our subject, and then let's get on here and set a body, and then let's set our I think it's a creation time. See if we get anything back for that. So it was not creation time. So let's go back and look at our service creation. All right. Okay, and we don't really want those guys there. We want them underneath the image. So I think we're going to need to do some, let's try this. Label, I think, is the magic you got to do to get things to play nice inside an item. It's like I got that guy back there going too. Why isn't my image writing over everything? Do I got to put it on side the label? Oh, there we go. We're getting closer. So we have my label there, and now let's see if I can put some H2. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. H2. Let's just stick with H. Well, we'll go a little bit smaller with these guys. We'll go down to H3, H3, H3. H3, H3. This guy's complaining. Okay. So now we have our guys. Now we got to put this guy to date. I believe it is. All right, so now we have our date and the time for the photos when they were taken. These texts aren't very nice, but you get the gist of where we're trying to head with this. So we have a little bit of information on it. We can clean it up a little bit later. But right now, I just wanted to show how we had the images. Let's pull this out of there. But now this guy is kind of in the way, right? It doesn't make sense to have our login there. So let's see if we can find a better place for our login. So let's take our whole login panel. But also we only wanted to show if there's a user. So let's take this login panel and let's put it up here underneath the header, right? So let's drop this guy in here, put a div around him, but this is just to be if I have a user. This is no else. It's just if I have a user, right? We're gonna put see how we have our user up there at the top in the header. I think now, yeah, so now I scroll kind of underneath it so it stays put. We don't really need the, let's go into our user panel. I don't think we really need the user ID over there. Well, let's come down here and let's remove this. We don't need this down here anymore. Right, so we just have a list of images. We accounted for all of our space. Well, let's see what this looks like on device. I see a few things. Hey, it's complaining because we haven't defined an ion label. So let's fix that. Let's go down here and fix that. All right, so we have our ion label working. This is looking, let's see, let's refresh this here. And let's click what we have on the bottom, refresh, see if we're getting any more errors about missing ionic components. All right, so we have all our components in, everything set up the way it's supposed to be. We want to move our log, we want to put some style around our user info box. And we need to get our login button back because it appears to be missing. let's move our login button down to the end over here. So what we're going to do is let's take our button and put it inside of the Ion item. See, so now we have this little login button sitting there. It looks kind of weird hanging out the bottom. Let's push it over to the edge. And so you can push it over to the edge by just using the slot. So we just say slot end. So it looks a little better over there on the end, but it looks kind of weird sitting all the way up on the top. So the next thing that we want to do is now that we push it all the way over to the end, let's see, why is it doing, let's do a couple of things. Oh, another problem is I have this label here that's doing nothing. Let's delete the label and see what our style looks like. What's going on? Yeah, ion label's added. Let's remove ion label. Remove ion label. That's looking a little better. Look at that. We got the logout button sitting over there. We got our name. Looks like our list is kind of scrolled up properly where it needs to be. Let's put a little bit of padding around that so it looks cleaner. Let's format this page here. So we formatted the page. Let's put some styling across the top of this item. First, let's put some padding around the text. So, did some of this before, so we didn't have to play around to see what looks good. So I've got a little space around the top and the bottom, and then let's get this line coming all the way over to the edge. And so you do that by using this padding start and the inner padding end. And that will kind of get rid of some of that blank space and bring this all the way over the way we want. So see, now we have our line going all the way across there. And then the last thing we want to do is kind of move this text here with Bill Simmons over. And I think we should be able to do that by just coming in here and adding a little padding. How if I just put padding everywhere? So let's take this off and just say padding period. Let's go back to 16. All right, I think that looks a little bit better. And then, as I said, I don't think I need the UID up there anymore. Maybe when we do the profile and we get the first name and last name, we can put it on the top there. Now let's see if our logout works fine. So let's click our logout button. Bill Stevens logged out. Let's log back in. Hit some breakpoints. And then let's get the breakpoints out of here so that things look the way we want them to look. And so let's clear this out. All right, that looked a lot better. And now let's kind of go back through the process of actually taking a picture and showing how that works when we take a picture, updates the UI, and see if everything just updates nicely the way we want it to. So let's give that a go. Yep, that's me. That's me. We have our picture. Let's put a subject, testing with list UI. I can add some summary text to the image. And then now let's save. And we get our image added up right there at the top. And see how since it's full screen, see how it kind of scrolls back behind everything. That's kind of neat. But let's wrap it here. I wanted to keep this section simply on just getting, I see one last thing. It's wrapping right there. Because I always mess this one up. It's either image wrap or wrap, ion wrap text or ion wrap or ion text wrap or ion wrap text. So let's see which one it is. We're not in the user panel. We're back on the home page. And on the home page, here we are on the item, speed class, text, text. And now let's reload this. Let's get this back over here and reload it. Hold on, let me Google it. Let's kind of bring this over so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you look under CSS utilities, it has a bunch of utilities to do things. You can justify your text, do all this other stuff, but then it's also got this this wrap text class. Sorry, text wrap class that we can assign. So let's just go down here. We know it's the body that's usually pretty long. So let's see if I can just put it right there. Let's take this off. So you see to put on there, we get our the wrapping. So that's exactly what we were looking for. Like I said, I wanted to keep this specific video focused on just updating the UI, and so we'll stop here, and we'll see you in the next part.